I'm Robert Pasakoff, and I'm the founder and president of Brand Keys. I was a college professor and was in advertising for a long time, and came to the point where we really needed to have metrics that were going to predict how people were going to behave in the marketplace. And so we developed the Brand Keys system. Brand Keys is the global leader in loyalty and engagement metrics. We've been doing this for 27 years worldwide in virtually every product category, B2B and B2C. The Customer Loyalty and Engagement Index is a survey that we conduct annually. Currently, it is 78 categories, 585 brands. We speak to people in the 9 U.S. Census regions, men and women 18 to 65 years of age, who self-classify for category participation and then classify for being a customer for one of the brands in the category. Brand Keys is the world leader in loyalty and engagement metrics. We're very clear about that because those are measures that are predictive of how people are going to behave toward a brand in a marketplace. We're extraordinarily proud that in many independent validation studies worldwide, we find that all of our metrics correlate very highly with how a consumer will ultimately behave toward a brand, and axiomatically, if people behave well toward you, you ought to make money, and so we see correlations with the bottom line, with sales and such. We've done this for 27 years in virtually every category, B2B or B2C, that you'd care to mention. The trick is understanding how to get real measures of what consumers think and not what they say they think. And as far as my background goes, I have a PhD in psychology, and so recognizing at one point in time that a good deal of what people said was not how they behaved, we looked to be able to create a model that would fuse emotional and rational decision making from the consumer perspective, and that's the model that we've developed, and it works really well. Well, the Customer Loyalty and Engagement Index is vastly different. I mean, one of the big tricks to it is that it is 100% consumer driven. One of the things that we are fond of saying, and I will likely say again, is that we are the smartest people in the room when we've got the customer data in front of us. It's telling us exactly what they're going to do. We're very clear it's not necessarily a market model, but it's data that big companies use to input into their market models to be able to understand what people are going to do. Most other surveys, the difficulty is that it's what we call direct Q&A. They ask a question, they get an answer, they tally it up, and that's all well and good. But most of the time, it's not really telling you how people are looking at a category and how they're looking at a brand. And this is different from satisfaction, which, you know, it's all well and good, but satisfaction is basically price of entry into the category. These days, if you don't satisfy a customer, they're gone. I mean, they've got so many options. So satisfaction's a lagging indicator. It's about what happened the last time someone was involved with a brand. Loyalty is a leading indicator. It tells you what's going to happen 12 to 18 months down the road. And engagement, the reason that we got involved with adding an aspect of engagement to the measures is that engagement really has to do with the brand itself. It tells you how well a consumer thinks that the brand meets or exceeds the expectations that they hold for the ideal in the category. And therefore, what you're looking for is not so much awareness. I mean, that tends to be the default definition when people talk about engagement. They said, I focused on this or I remember this. What it really is an increase in the brand values that are important to the consumer in the category. And therefore, the more engaged, the more highly engaged the consumer is with a brand, the more positively they are going to behave toward the brand itself. We have something that comes out of this that is kind of interesting. It's called the Rule of Six. And it says that loyal customers are 6 times more likely to, and then there's a series of these wonderful things that they do for the brand. They're 6 times more likely to buy you over a competitor. Well, okay, that to a certain degree is loyalty, but 6 times more. They're 6 times more likely to buy other products and services that you offer up. They're 6 times more likely to invest in you if you're a publicly traded company. They're 6 times more likely to give you the benefit of the doubt in uncertain circumstances. And one of the things that I find that's incredible about the AT&T strength, where it resides entirely in the wireless service provider brand, is the fact that people are 6 times more likely not to give in to competitive offers, especially ones that are price-based, or in this case, the kinds of things that other brands are offering up in terms of products or services. They look at yours and they're just engaged and loyal, and that's going to keep you profitable.
You kind